Hey folks, Ray from DCRaymaker.com. Today I've got the DJI Mavic, and I'm here to talk about the difference between ActiveTrack and Follow Me. So the Mavic actually has two different ways it can autonomously follow you as you do some sort of activity, whether it be riding a bike or a car or anything you want. As long as you're moving, it can follow you. There are some limitations though, and I want to kind of talk to the two different modes and some of the differences there and where you might use one or the other. So what I've got here is a Mavic. I'm going to pop it up in the air. I then got the remote control, and I've got my phone. Now technically you can use just your phone if you want to, but for this case I'm just going to go ahead and use the remote control with the phone, and I'm going to record the screen so you can see here. I don't normally use this Android phone on this one, but so I can record the screen, so it's all kind of wonky fitting. Don't worry about that, it just is the way it is. Doesn't really impact what we're doing here, but just in case people are wondering why it looks all wonky. So I'm going to get this in the air, and I'm going to go ahead and enable the ActiveTrack mode first. So I'm going to show you that and how that goes. I'm basically going to go along the pond river thing thingy right here, and then I'm going to go up a small hill. And pay attention when I go up the hills to what happens on ActiveTrack versus on following mode. Then I'm going to turn back around again and come back down the hill, and again watch what happens on ActiveTrack versus Follow Me. So with that, let's go ahead and get this thing started. Okay, time to take off here. Here we go. Got the camera on. Okay, so the way it works with ActiveTrack is it's actually tracking you as an object. So it sees me as an object and it's going to follow me. Whereas Follow Me mode, and there's technical differences there, is following the controller. Wherever the controller goes, it goes. You can see the wind's picked up here, it's starting to rain, there's even a rainbow out there. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do it this way. So the best practice in ActiveTrack is to show the camera what it's going to see. So I'm going to turn this back around again. I'm going to go over here, just place it a little bit behind me on the trail. Bring it a little bit forward here. The wind takes it pretty quick that way. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just turn the gimbal down so it can find me. There we are there. Now, I'm going to go into the menus here. So I'm going to make sure sport mode is off because I had that on for earlier. So I'm going to choose a little helicopter on the screen there that you see. It tells me to agree to intelligent flight terms, which is what it's doing. And then there's different modes here. There's ActiveTrack. I can slide to the left there. I can see Follow Me. I'm going to go ahead and choose ActiveTrack. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and find me. So click OK again. And I'm selecting me right there. There we go. Now you see it says subject OK. Now I have to click OK again to engage the ActiveTrack. Now the point of my entire video is doing solo flying. If you have someone else that can go ahead and do that flying for you, then quite frankly, the ActiveTrack is just sort of a nice to have. In my case, I want to see if it can actually track me and follow me, and that's what I'm here to do. So again, if you've got someone else, then you can probably get way better cinematic shots with someone else following you, manual controlling. So now that I've got this ready to go, it's got me there, ActiveTrack. So I'm going to go ahead and put the cover on here. Now, the cover comes from the box. And to say this is sketchy would be an understatement. The challenge is you can't have the controllers move, otherwise it'll go around me and do bad things, like it's probably already starting to do. There we go. Now the second one I'm going to put on, so I've got rubber bands. The controller, this little plastic thing, when I say it comes from the box, I mean I cut apart the box to make this happen. I found that tip on Reddit, so I don't take credit for that. It's some dude on Reddit that came up with a much better plan than I did. Now I'm going to carefully put this in my bag and hope it doesn't get bumbled around too much, because if it does and it moves the bouncy thing, or if it bounces around, and then bad things are going to happen. Okay, it's there. Now with ActiveTrack, you do still retain the optical sensing, but that's not going to help me where jack if I hit the sticks and it plunks me into the bushes. So we'll see how well this works. Where's my other strap? There we go. I don't think that's quite right, but good enough. Okay, here we go. Let's see how well it falls on ActiveTrack. So far so good. It's not too shabby. I'm not going super fast. The relatively the speed doesn't matter here. I've done this much faster on a bike and out in the open. Now I'm going to do a little swerve here around the gully, and then I'm going to climb up on the hill. Hopefully I won't screw over the hill from a cycling standpoint. Okay. So now, in active track mode, it will actually follow me up this hill. In theory, anyways. And right there, you can see it stopped following me. It didn't hit the ground though, which is great. So that's default active track mode. Right there, it stopped thanks to that hitting the ground. Now, it will not descend. So if we do this, let's see if it's still got me here. So it's lost me at this point, which is one of the challenges. So I'm going to go ahead now and take control of it again and bring it back. So I'm very carefully taking my control out of the bag again. Even more carefully removing the rubber bands. What I'm gonna do is there we go. I just did that because I don't want it to go anywhere into a tree real quick if I hit it real hard or hit it the last second. So I just popped it up out of the way. And you can see it's clearly lost me, so no good there. Now some of you may be wondering right now, what about the train follow mode? And it's true, it does have a train follow mode, but you can't enable that at the same time as active track. So you can see right now I have active track on the screen there. If I tap terrain follow, and I look at that now, I'm gonna hide this out of the way. Let me get me in the picture here just so you can see. There's no more active track option. And now I go back here into this and you can see active track is disabled. So it's one or the other. So you can't actually follow an object up and down. It's just with basically the same level that you went there. Now ideally what I would do in this case is I would go ahead and start this back there and I would set it high enough that I could cross this entire small hill without running into anything. But realistically, that's not how a lot of people actually use this day in, day out. They would want to be able to go ahead and do this and go up and down hills and things like that and have a follow it. Not saying active track's not cool, but just to understand the limitations there. Now it's starting to rain out a bit, but no worries, we'll go back and reset this and show you follow me mode. I'll see you on the other side there. Okay, ready to go for the second time, this time for the follow me function. Let's get it up in the air real quick. Take off. Get a little bit close to the ground there. There we go, pop it over there, whip it around, right? Okay, I'm gonna give a little more altitude this time because I just don't trust it, to be quite honest. So here we go on the remote control, hit the helicopter doohickey. We're gonna slide over to follow me. You'll see that in the upper middle there. I click follow me. Now it shows me my altitude and it shows me the device signal, which is great. GPS on this, by the way, is what it's talking about. Click apply. Okay, when I hit this apply button there, what you saw what happens, it says fly within altitude range of 10 to 120 meters or 32 to 393 feet from me. So it's already telling you it's got to go higher than what it is for active track mode. So right now I'm at 28 feet, so I'm going to go up to 32. There we go, at 36 feet, good enough. Okay, and now we're ready to go. So it's now following the controller, in theory. So I'm gonna put my super ghetto thing back on again. Here we go. Please don't fly into anything. And I'm hoping at some point someone will come out with like some little case thing that keeps us from doing this. I know I've seen remote control button guards that help it for like when you're putting in your bag while transit and stuff like that, but that's not the same as this. Also, the Mavic does actually have removable controls on some of the units, not the first ones that shipped out, which is super disappointing, like but now the ones that are shipping now supposedly do have the ability to remove the remote control from it. Not supposedly, they do have the ability to remove that, but my original one doesn't. I'm really hoping DJI will do something to make that happen because it's kind of one of the things I wanted to see on there. Okay, here we go. It's making a lot of noise, sorry. Put this carefully back in. It's really drifting a lot. It's drifting right now. Nope, not liking that at all. It is drifting to the... So, right now it's already drifting a ton. I'm actually going to cancel it. So I'm pulling it back off the side there. And the reason you see that's a problem right now when it drifts a bunch is that there's this hill over there, right there, and it was drifting right into it, which isn't too cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and basically just plop it over the middle of the ravine here. Okay, now that I fixed it, I've got it out of the middle here. I know it's not as pretty as the active track mode, but quite frankly, I don't want to kill my Mavic quite yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and re-enable the active track, or sorry, the follow me mode here. Tap that right there. Apply. There we go. Now it is theoretically following me. Off we go. I think I hear it back there. I'm not going to turn around this time. I'm just going to trust it until I get to turn. Okay, so active track is not that, and follow me is following me, sort of, and it's kind of stopped. So it looks like what happened is that in my bag, the remote control got bumped on follow me, and it stopped doing that pretty much immediately, which is kind of too bad. So I'm gonna bring it over here closer to me. We're just gonna use this little track here. I don't really go up the hill because I know what's gonna happen. It doesn't actually change altitude. I'm just gonna show you that though. I'm gonna try it again, follow me. Okay, I just re-enabled follow me again. So there you go, you saw me re-enable that there. I just wanted to test and see if I can get away with just simply sticking this in my bag. I know the battery's low, but it's 30%. I gotta change that to a lower or higher number. I'm gonna go ahead and try sticking this in my back pocket instead. The controls actually aren't enabled. I need to discover this in follow me mode, where they are in active track because you can skip the picture around. So what I've got here, I'm gonna just do a Yui. I'm leaving my bag there because I'm running out of time. Battery, and here we go. Around the corner. And it doesn't seem to be doing a good job of following me right now, gotta say. There we go. Now it's kind of just wandering around. The thing with follow me mode is it's rather like drunk uncle. So you basically see it kind of somewhere back there. It's not very precise. By precise, I mean it pretty much sucks. So, I don't even know where I went to be honest. It's not there anymore, not visible. And that just sucked. So just like that, something went wrong. My guess is it exited the mode because of whatever reason. And then when it did that, the controls took over. So I should have used my little control blocker, but I didn't. And we'll see where it is right now. Gotta go find it actually. Okay, so now we're gonna go find the unit. It's up in the trees up here somewhere. Okay, it says I'm 78 feet away. It says I've overshot slightly. Seems like it might be over here somewhere. I don't quite see it yet. So now it says it's 100 or 200 feet away from where I was. Literally just 10 seconds ago sort of thing. Which is kind of frustrating. Because it's like a wild goose chase. And honestly, it makes way more sense that it's down here somewhere because that's basically closest to where it would have flown into if it had hit something. It wouldn't have gone all the way up that distance, that height. Distance, 400 feet, height. So it's definitely the same elevation I took off from. So it's got to be somewhere out here. This is much better if it crashed in here. This is way, way softer ground than other places I've been wandering through. And this is really the first line of trees that would have hit in the event of a less than ideal flight path. 146 feet away. 119 feet away. Looking at the picture on the camera, it's got sunlight coming in. The only spot around here out of sunlight is right up there. I'm trying to think if it's on the upper side. Hey, I see it! Of this big ass tree. There it is. Nice! Let's see. Here we go, put down the controller. Finally found you. You went for quite the journey. Okay, so I don't see any broken anything. I got some chip props there, but no big deal. I got plenty of props. I got some pine needles that are extras, I guess as a take-home gift or something. So it's not too bad. Let's see here. Put this down for a second. Okay. Just gonna power this off because it'd be stupid to have it do something bad. There we go. These spin freely. It's not bad at all. I think we're good to go. Okay, so there you go. There is a look at Follow Me and Active Track modes and all of their awesomeness, I guess. So the thing is with this drone is that, yes, you can use Active Track, but I wouldn't really do it solo for exactly the reason you saw there. Just noticing how much dirt I have in my hands. I chose this location because it's literally in the middle of nowhere. There is no one up here. I am many, many miles from anyone, and so basically the idea is if something went wrong just like this, I could have it hit something innocent like a tree, and all would be fine, even the drone, as it turned out. So I think kind of the end state of that is that from a solo standpoint, it's just a little too soon for the technology. You know, with the Phantom 4 Pro that DJI just announced, they do have optical sensors on all sides, so basically you can avoid, in theory, something like this. It does not have an optical sensor on the top though, so it can still go up into the tree like this, which may or may not be what happened right here, but just kind of keep that in mind for right now. I'd probably just stick to doing general cinematography with this as opposed to the Active Track mode. Now to get myself out of this mess. Okay, here we go. Okay, with the Mavic successfully recovered out of the tree and 2 props swapped out, we got one last surprise for you, or I've got one last surprise for you, which is to try it with just my phone. So the Mavic does allow me to use a Wi-Fi connection between my phone and itself, and I can use Active Track in that mode actually. So what I'm going to do is I've got it all rigged up here. I'm using my iPhone as opposed to my Android phone because it's newer and theoretically might have better GPS in it, just so we can try to keep the drone in one piece for the rest of this trip. I'm going to also keep it simple here just along this empty basin. I've got 100 yards to trees in the direction, so again, hopefully it'll just keep itself under control. So with that, I'm going to go ahead. I've got recording already started. I'm going to take off. Here we go. Okay, I'm up in the air. Now I'm going to get a little bit higher up just so we get the Active Track enabled here. Have to get used to the phone controls. I'm not used to using this part of it. Turning it around. Okay, get the gimbal down to me. Back it up a little bit. There we go. There's hopefully nothing it should run into between here and there. I'm gonna go ahead now and get me on my bicycle. Okay, next I'm gonna enable Active Track mode. So I'm gonna tap the automated intelligent flight mode, the Active Track. There we go, it's thinking, it's still thinking. There we go, I've locked it on me. Now let's go ahead and I click go, and it's following. Now the first test is if I can lock my phone, because obviously I don't want to stick it in my back pocket and have it do something magical, like call someone. So I'm gonna lock the phone, and I'm gonna double check and make sure that it's still in Active Track mode. And no, does not appear to be. Right there. As soon as I lock the stream, this will go ahead and automatically shut off Active Track mode. I can go ahead just for the fun of it though and hold the phone with it unlocked, sort of a pain in the ass. Active Track tapping me. It says subject's too small, So I'm gonna get in the bike so maybe it sees me. Here we go. Re-enable active track. There we go. Okay, I've got it locked back on again now. And now I'm just gonna simply hold the phone and have it follow me. Not drop the phone. There we go. And you can see it's largely working. Kind of. Subject too small. And I've already lost it just like that. So it isn't all that awesome for what I want. And the other challenge too with the phone-based mode is you got a very limited range, only about 80 meters give or take, which I wasn't at the end of yet, but it's something to keep in mind. I'm gonna circle back here and land it. Okay, I just simply configured it to go ahead and return to home because it's really a pain in the ass using this remote control in a certain range, especially here. So I'm going to simply do the work. Now, what's kind of the summary here? Obviously, DJI's active track mode and following modes are pretty cool, but they're not ideal for solo flying, which is fine. That's all right. There are other products out there that do better than that. AirDog, for example. And if you look at DJI's Phantom 4 Pro they introduced, that does have optical sensors on all sides of it, front and side, or front and back and side. It does not yet have them on the top though, so it can fly up into a tree. So that's something that, you know, could certainly be viable. I would expect next spring we'll probably see a Mavic 2. We'll probably see optical sensors on all sides. Just waiting for this thing to come back to me here. But otherwise, I wouldn't typically use this for doing kind of autonomous following of me in a sports setting, because it's just not that reliable. I mean, the trees here, I chose this location because it's wide open, there's nothing around, so if something went wrong, it wouldn't hit anybody or property, it would just simply go into a tree, and that's exactly what it did. This will take you forever to land, by the way. But just to kind of give you a feeling on things, again, the differences are, one, with standard active track remote control, you can choose location, will not follow height up or down. It will go ahead though and follow the object. It's following me, it identifies an object. With follow me mode, it's following the remote control. It's staying at the exact same altitude. It does have a limitation there on how high and how low you can go. And then finally with the phone, it does not have follow me on the phone, but does have active track. But you just saw how well that worked the second I closed the phone. I'm out of luck. With that, the unit should land itself, and we will call this video done. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button as well as the subscribe button so you get more sports technology goodness, including more DJI Mavic videos and plenty more action cam stuff along the way. Have a good one.